You can now create product demos and edit videos in plain English and save your specific editing workflows as reusable Claude skills. So in this video, I'll show you exactly how to set this up in Claude Code, even if you're a beginner. Now, before showing you how to set it up, let me show you quickly what it can do. So this is a product demo that we created in probably around 15 to 30 minutes for our AI recruiting solution that we sell to recruiters and career coaches. So pretty impressive what it can do in a few shots with prompting. So as you can see, and I'll show you quickly an example of one that I just video edited. So you can see there are 3 AI SEO systems we've solved. It can do these overlays, it can highlight text, it can do transitions, which it, for example, does here. Right. So you can get a lot more fancy with this if you want to. I just did this one in 5 minutes, and you can save your specific editing workflows as Claude skills. So it will take you a lot less time the second time you do it. So let me show you how to set it up. In order to do this, we're of course going to use Claude Code. Now, if you haven't yet, you first have to install Node.js and then download an IDE. Now, in this case, I'm using Anti-Gravity. Again, you can download it for free. And once you've downloaded it, you'll land on a screen like this. Now, from here, we just open a new folder. We can, in this case, let's just call it demo video bang. We create and we open it up. Now, second thing, if you haven't done already, is we need to add Claude Code as an extension. So we can go here to extensions, type in Claude Code, and it will appear here, which you can then install. Once you've installed it here, then if you double click here on the screen, you'll see this pop up here. Then we can open up Claude Code Terminal. Now, generally what I recommend is to put it on dangerous mode so we don't have to click and give permissions all the time. So the way you do it is by just typing in config with a slash, then you go to the general config, and then we check mark this one, allow dangerously skip permissions, and Claude Code initial permissions mode, we select bypass permissions. You might have to restart your anti-gravity for these changes to occur, but then you can select it here at the bottom, right, bypass permissions. Now, in order to make these product demos and edit videos, we're using 2 skills, which are the FF Impact skill and the Remotion skill. Now, you can download and install these directly from Claude Code, but we've created our own skill that uses these 2 skills together with a specific workflow and set of instructions to make this process a little bit easier. So if you want to use our specific skill that I'm going to show in this video, you can check out my AI Accelerator, my AI community, where we list many of these skills that we are building and using ourselves. So in this case, we can go to the video editing skill. We can just copy this link here. And we go to /plugin here. Then we go to marketplaces, and we can now just paste this in. And now we have the AI skills. If we now go to plugins here at the bottom, you'll see our skills loaded in. So in this case, we're going to use the video skill. We click on install for this project. Right now, usually you have to restart your anti-gravity account before this skill is accessible. So I've restarted the account. If I now click /video, you'll see that it appears. And if I click on it, it will show me all the things it can do, right? Stitch, merge, add transition, add captions, transcribe, add title cards, stream, convert, or process. Now, we're first going to set up a product demo, then I'll show you the video editing. Now, for a product demo, we need to give Claude access to some context around our business and our product, of course. And you can do this by just starting to type with Claude Code now, but we made this a little bit easier for you by having a specific prompt that you can use that already extracts all your visual elements from a website. For the features, the key features, etc. So it will extract all the relevant data and create a storyboard, right, for the potential product demo. So I'll make sure to put the prompt in the link in the description too, so it can speed up your workflow a bit. So I can just copy this entire thing. If you're going to use this, all you have to do is just change it to your website link. I'll paste this in. I can see it created a to-do, and it's now going to go through the entire process of the prompt. So it's now done, and basically what it generated is a website analysis.md. So this is just a file with all the data on my product. So we have the design system with my brand colors, typography, spacing, UI components. We have the key features of the product, which it all got from the website, right? And it even already includes a video storyboard, so an initial idea of what the product demo could look like. Besides that, it's gone through my website and actually downloaded some of our assets on our website, like icons, images, logos, etc., which it will be able to use in the product demo. So now I can just tell Claude, let's build the product demo according to the storyboard that was created in the MD file. If you don't know what MD means, it's just a markdown document. So it's just a document. So you can see it created a to-do list, set up a Remotion project. So it already has instructions on how to install this, right? Create theme fonts, etc., and then build the scenes. Now it's now done and created the initial version of the video. So we can just open it on the local host and check it out. I can see I put my logo, but it was the wrong color. Recruiting has changed, your system should too. I'd probably change this. So normally it's not going to be perfect at the first try. You have to go back and forth a few times. But you do see it can be pretty impressive what it did with a one shot already. So pretty good, but I'd probably make some changes. For example, I could say, I don't want any scenes with white backgrounds. In the third scene, there's an image, a vertical image. That one is not good. Change that out for another image. Also make all of the scenes half the duration. Make the video a lot faster. So we can just say what we want and go back and forth with the model to get to a better product demo. And I forgot one thing, which you can just say while it's working, right? Also in the logo, in the intro and the outro, you should have the white logo, not the black logo, because you can't see it. So you can just make adjustments while it's working and it will add it to the to-do list. So it's now finished with the updates. Let's check it out. Okay, so it made the logo entirely white, but you can see it updated the image here, put the black background, and it moves a lot faster now. So for the logo, I'd probably have to upload a logo to Claude Code so it uses the right one, but you get the idea. With a few back and forths, it can do quite a lot. As you can see, this is pretty impressive. So let's just finish it off. Start and end the video with the yellow color background of my brand, and then use the old black logo. So it says it fixed it. So let's check it out. And that's all right here, as you can see, and at the end. So yes, you have to go back and forth quite a few times. We can really just start video editing with natural language. And then if you want to download it, you can just here go to render video, right? Put your settings and it'll download it. And I think it can be even more powerful for video editing. Just show you an example of right now. So we can also just add another Claude terminal here, right? Besides the other one. So we can also let Claude run multiple tasks at the same time. But in this case, we're just going to do the video editing. Now, I use a tool called Screen Studio, and Screen Studio is a great tool for recording, but the problem with Screen Studio is we can't stitch multiple videos together, and often I record my videos in parts, and then have to ask my video editor or do it myself, stitching it together manually. So for example, this is what Claude can do. So in this case, I would just add one of my previous videos, so you can see it has 4 parts, and I can just throw it in here into the files. Then I can use the scale again. I can either use it like this or just tell Claude I want to do video editing, and it will use this scale automatically. So it already spotted that it now has access to these videos here. What would you like to do with these videos? Some common options. So let's say first stitch the videos together into one long video, and also transcribe the video so you understand what this video is about. So it's now stitched the video together and has transcribed the video, which I can then use to start editing from. Now I did this using FFmpeg. Now for actual visualizations and demos and animations, we're using Remotion. Now, generally what I do is I try to make my intro a bit more engaging, right? So I can just tell the model something like, write out the intro for me. So now we got the full intro transcript. And now, for example, from here, I can start editing. So I could say what I generally like to do is sort of have an overlay and show people what they can expect in the video later. So for example, I can take this part and say, when I talk about this part of the script, I want to have a video overlay with a sped up version of the rest of the video. It should be 16x sped up, and it should be an overlay without sound that teases the viewer on what they'll get in this video. Then I add in the part of the script. This is the part of the script. And then generally what helps speed this up is give it an image so it has a little bit more context on what you're trying to do. So for example, I can take this one and paste it in here. So the model has a bit more context. All right, it's done. Let's check it out. So we can see our 3 AI SEO systems we've solved now with marketing there. These e-commerce SaaS businesses, and as these solve common SEO pain points. Now I can also make it into a 3D effect, make it a bit nicer, but you get the idea. Now generally, what you also can use this for, of course, is to highlight specific texts. I can say, for example, highlight a few texts in the intro. I'll put the specific text of the intro that you need to highlight here below. Please follow the same style and put the text in the same position as in the screenshot below. So I've selected the text that I want to highlight and added a screenshot of where I want it to be presented. So it's now done. Let's check it out. It's still in this one. Okay. Here are 3 AI SEO systems we've sold to marketing agencies, e-com, and SaaS businesses. And as these solve common SEO pain points, these can be great solutions to sell if you're an AI agency or implement if you run SEO in your business. It even did that style like I showed in the screenshot of having it in 2 lines if it's long, but you can see this is pretty impressive. Of course, we can change the fonts, the effects, etc. Let me show you one more example of what it can do. For example, please identify when I talk about a new AI SEO system and add in a transition overlay that describes the automation that I'm about to discuss. So now we'll actually analyze the transcript, figure out when I'm talking about a new automation and hopefully add in an overlay. So it's done. Let's check it out. I created a new one here with full video edit. There are 3 AI SEO systems. So if we go to the first part, AI business. You can see it added this research and coverage. Now, what I generally like to do is cut up my videos for LinkedIn. So I want to create 3 videos for LinkedIn out of this video. Each of the videos should cover one AI SEO system. Only that. So identify from the transcript when I switch over from one to the other and cut it up into 3 different clips for LinkedIn. I don't want the intro for LinkedIn. And I can add one more thing, for example, for LinkedIn is I want to add captions in the same style that we have done before, like the highlights for the entire video for LinkedIn. And of course, you can also have a shorts format or another format for another social media. So it's now created the 3 videos. Let's check them out. So LinkedIn, you can see it's a folder with 3 videos and it started. System is an SEO research and content generation. They even made these effects. So it's pretty nice. We see the second one. Automatic SEO slide deck reporting system. And the third one. So it did it perfectly. Now, lastly, the really powerful thing here is now that I have a specific workflow laid out, I can actually ask Claude to create a skill out of this specific workflow. So I can say, now I want you to create a new skill that follows this exact process of editing my YouTube videos. So every time this YouTube editing skill is invoked, I want you to stitch together the videos, transcribe the videos always, then suggest parts of text to highlight for me. When I confirm the text to highlight, use the exact style of the one that we did here to highlight the texts. Also suggest me a part of the script to add in the overlay sped up version, and also suggest me parts of the video where we can add in transition slides in the same style that we did in this project. Lastly, suggest me 1 or 2 clips that would be under 5 minutes and interesting to share on LinkedIn. When I confirm, use the same style of captions and cut it up for LinkedIn. And as Claude now already has that context on how we did this and how it specifically edited it for this version, it will add that to the skill together with the process. And next time I invoke the YouTube editing skill, it will start following this same process. So every time I do this, it will cost me less and less time. And that's really the power of skills, I believe, is you can do a process once manually. They might take you a little bit more time, but once you have a workflow locked, you can invoke that skill anytime you want, and it will be a lot faster. Okay, so now it's created the skill here, and now we have to still make sure that we can actually trigger it through the slash, which I showed you before. So we can say something like, please make sure that I can use this skill with a slash command here in Claude Code. Now it starts actually installing it and make sure that we can actually trigger it through that slash command. So it's now added it to the marketplace and registered as installed. So if I now open up a new one here, it should appear here if I type in YouTube edit, and yes, it does. So now we've created our own skill, which we can then reuse each time you want to do a specific video editing workflow. So you can see it already now knows, right? Because it's in the instructions, it looked for if there's specific videos, it found that there are 4 video parts. So now it's already starting to stitch them together and transcribe them without me even saying anything. So that's it for this video. If you want access to this Claude skill and many other skills, weekly AI workshops, one-on-one tech help, and blueprints on how to start your own AI business, you can also check out my AI Accelerator in the link in the description. And if you want to learn more about AI, you can check the video that YouTube recommends here.